Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Is it arrogance or is it just right? Is it true? One of the synonyms for arrogant is superior, and I think our opinion is superior.
I guess so.
It's based on science.
Yeah, well, I mean, so yes, this goes, and if you'd like to join the conversation, and you should, because Don and I will talk about whatever for
this is important, but
we want to hear from you, and you get a free subscription to Real Investing Journal.
Can you
edit that out
for free right now on the air? You just tune your ears on.
Good point.
It's totally free.
Why don't you give the number?
877-397-5666 is our phone number. Really, that's easy. Come on, 877-397-5666. And it's a family sort of gathering weekend at the Conch House. Yeah. And Tom's family's there for all these graduations. And apparently a member of his family said, Tom, you're an arrogant twit.
Always goes
you're
like this.
You're an arrogant twit, Tom.
What do you do? I do this, blah, blah. Okay,
what's the market going to do?
Blah, blah, blah. And I say, this is how we invest. This is what we believe. And I think what I said was it's really the only way to invest. Then the comment was, wow, that is really arrogant. I said, okay, here's rephrasing. The only way I know that is supportable by evidence to invest. The rest of it's just speculation. You're kind of hoping that you bought Microsoft in 1997, right? Or if you bought Amazon in 1997. You bought Microsoft in 1986 and sold it in 1999. There isn't anything else that is supportable long-term by academic peer-reviewed research.
Let me just repeat
So that might have been a little arrogant,
maybe,
I guess.
But there is, and we can say this without fear of contradiction. Does that make it arrogant? There is, in fact, no evidence, none whatsoever, that anyone can consistently and accurately predict the financial future. Therefore, trying to do so is, by definition, stupid. So would you rather be stupid or arrogant?
See, and I didn't go there.
I would have.
Even though I had a couple glasses of wine under my belt.
I would have.
That did come up later from my brother. He said Don would have been a lot tougher at that.
Much tougher. Come on.
I want to go to the next family thing. So
how do you argue? No, but okay, what did they argue was the better way to invest?
They had some person that they knew that da-da-da-da-da. That's all what it always is. This guy's made, okay. And then how much risk did they take? Well, I don't know. And how long, what's their T-stat? You could...
Oh, now stop it with the T-stats.
Because people don't know.
All right, that makes you sound arrogant.
Right.
When you throw in sharp ratios and T-stats
I try
and
to
that
throw a
kind
few of those things and, knock them off their block a little bit.
All right, maybe the standard deviation is low, but the T-stat, that's what... Yeah. Okay. But here's the point.
Yeah.
We get to the real crux of the matter here with that statement you made. They have a person.
They always do.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is that
I have a guy.
They think their person sexist.
Pardon me. I'm just using the expression they generally have. That's
I have a gal. I have a guy. I have a small child. If you want, if they're good at it. I have a pet.
My grandson. He'll know.
I have a horse who does this.
3 times means market's going up. 2 times going down. Yeah, okay, I'm in.
But here's the issue. Everybody, come on, I'm talking to you listening now, not to Tom. If you invest, you probably have a person you knew from church, your brother-in-law, your cousin, the guy from the Rotary or the Kiwanis Club. There's a person, and they're nice as nice can be. They're so nice.
And
I really like them.
Here's
and
the
I
other
trust
thing.
them.
Yeah, and here's the other part. If you go see them, which I hope you do every 6 months or a year, and you ask them, hey, what about the market, this or that? Now, if you come and ask us, we're going to say,
Not a
we
clue.
don't know. If
Not a clue.
most of the people in this business are going to say, well, hell, of course, with Trump getting out of the climate deal and da-da-da-da-da-da-da and the tax reform and blah, here's what
Should
the market's
be a
going
good
to do.
environment
Yeah.
for oils and
Right.
yeah.
And that's where the line gets crossed. Those people don't know. They pretend they do, but they don't. Sorry.
Wait. This just occurred to me. I'm having one of those moments, like the little light bulb goes off. If you claim to know something and you state it with sincerity and absoluteness, and you do not know, you're totally making it up, but you're just as confident about it as you can be. Wait a minute. What would that make you?
That sounds kind of
Arrogant.
Yeah.
Really arrogant. Speaking the truth is not arrogance.
Yeah.
Lying with sincerity
lying with
In air quotes.
sincerity.
is arrogance. That's your comeback next time.
Okay.
So does your guy tell you he knows what's going to happen, what
No.
stocks are going to go up and go down?
It was more like that I believe what I believe, and I have evidence that backs it up, and his take was that's just very arrogant.
Okay.
I said that's
all right, let's
okay.
I got another analogy.
All right,
I got
okay.
another
Well,
analogy.
that was a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one there.
Yeah, well, I got a better one.
Okay.
Just sort of a better one. It's this one's going to get me in trouble. Never mind.
That's
it's going to
it.
get me in
You're
trouble
gonna,
with a
you're gonna
handful
do
of
that?
people.
You're going to be one of those people in a conversation. I'm not going to tell you.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I'm going to stand by my
All right.
beliefs. I once had an argument with somebody in Colorado when I lived in Colorado. Now, in Colorado, they have a lot of cuts through the mountains. Mm-hmm. These where they will cut like 5,000 feet in there. And you can look in the mountain then when they've cut it.
This is for
And you can
purposes
go,
of mining minerals?
No, where they like make a road or something.
Oh,
and
okay.
they cut through the mountain, and
Yeah.
you can see layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of earth. Now, that shows you right there, you can scientifically prove that bottom layer was laid down before the layer on top of it, before the layer on top of
You're
that,
pretty
et cetera,
sure.
et cetera.
Well, but
and
unless
that
there's an
bottom layer,
earthquake or something, settling.
based on science, you
Yeah.
can date that bottom layer with uranium-235 or whatever the heck they used to do it.
Yeah.
And so you could pretty much say the Earth is X number of billion years old. And then this is when I get it. I got into it with some creationist, somebody who absolutely believed the Earth was 6,000 years old.
Yeah.
And I said, look at the evidence. Well, the evidence isn't true. The evidence is overwhelming as far as geology goes.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming as far as the science about investing.
That's true.
It's overwhelming. Why do people persist in arguing with the overwhelming body of evidence?
Springs eternal. I will find
Hope
a
of
person.
what?
Hope
Oh,
of
that there's a
somebody-
magic person.
There's always is. There's always a guru. There's the guy on Billions. There's always somebody that can outperform the market. He's
Right.
out there. She's out there.
Steve
They're
Cohen.
out there. Steve Cohen.
Stephen
He's
Cohen.
ready to get going again.
He's getting back in.
$20 billion.
Yeah, I think anybody who invests with him, when we come back, give your advice to anybody who might be considering investing with Stephen A. Cohen. Tom had some great advice. We're going to share that with you after the break. 877-397-5666 is our phone number. Please stop in. You're being bribed.
And Don are talking real money.
Quick break. In addition to our Talking Real Money podcast, we have a few other tools to help you gain a better understanding of the concept of real investing. Of course, there's Real Investing Journal. That's offered in both a free online version and in an inexpensive printed magazine. Explore both those options at realinvestingjournal.com, realinvestingjournal.com. Then we teach classes. We offer most of our live classes in the Seattle area because that's where most of our offices are, but most of you live elsewhere. That's why we're now offering the same classes that Tom and I taught at Retire Meet online right now, free at TalkingRealMoney.com under the video link. Just go to TalkingRealMoney.com and then click on the video link. You'll see them right there. Finally, we also manage the wealth or the budding wealth of hundreds of folks like you through our fee-only 100% fiduciary investment advisory firm, Vestory. You'll find our approach is consistent with the message we've been sharing for decades. We always put our clients' needs first. Our fees are among the lowest of any non-robo advisor, and constant education is one of our core values. Visit Vestory.com for more information on our firm and to take our free no-obligation risk quiz to better understand the level of investment volatility you can tolerate. That's Vestory.com, Vestory.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
And we want to do that primarily with you because you have questions and we want to answer them and help you find that better future. So give us a call at 877-397-5666 here on Talking Real Money. And Raymond, it's your turn. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Raymond.
Hello?
Hey, how are you? How can we help?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you hear us?
Guess not.
Oh, Raymond, can you hear us? Raymond.
I hear you.
Oh, you hear us.
Oh,
How can we
good.
help you today?
I have a question. A friend pitched whole life policy and infinite banking.
Yeah.
No. Oh.
Wait a minute. First of all, that's not a
Infinite
friend.
banking. I
That's
love
not
that.
That's not a friend. They really did that. Explain what that is, Don, because that's such a wonderful product.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it's this is someone who sells life insurance, and they're selling life insurance as if it was some magical investment. This infinite banking thing is a wholly made up term that was made up by, I believe it was a woman who was very creative in her marketing pitch. Basically, what you're doing is you're buying whole life, which is a terrible investment. It's not even a very good life insurance policy. They don't earn much, and they make this ridiculous claim that you earn money tax-free in these infinite life policies. They
Doesn't make
neglect
sense.
to tell you
Yeah.
some of the downside. For example, let's say you start taking an income from this infinite banking product or whole life policy, and several years down the road, the premiums for the life insurance get so ridiculously high that you just can't afford to pay them anymore, which can happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you fail to make a payment, every penny you've taken out as, quote, tax-free income becomes immediately taxable. Immediately taxable.
Think that
it is
through.
not,
Yeah.
You're borrowing your money. You're not getting an income stream. You're borrowing your own money back. That's why it's, quote, tax-free. This is a gimmick. This is a game. This is a ripoff. This is a scam. These people get ridiculous commissions, and they ought to be ashamed of themselves.
And if you need life insurance, go buy term life. If you need investments, then there's a lot of ways to do that better than a whole life policy that is generally going to be, as Don said, less than exemplary returns, or has been in the past.
This
Well,
is no
that's
friend. This is no friend.
You need to, limit your circle of friends.
And here's
there.
here's the thing you must do with friends who sell financial products.
Goodness.
Because we all have them, and we all will have them at some point in the future. Is you have to be able to say this is not a friend decision. This is a business decision,
Yeah.
and what you're talking about makes no sense whatsoever. And ask them if they really want to continue to argue it with you, Raymond. Tell them to please call us next Saturday,
Yeah.
and I will hear them out, and then I will tell them why they're totally and absolutely wrong and ripping people off.
Yeah. Fine.
I
As
would
I
be-
said, I think that's a good way to put it. Look, you're my friend. I don't want the financial part of all this to injure that friendship, so let's talk about something else. Because you
Gene,
can move
you're
on
up
to
next.
you could move on to politics or religion, something much
Exactly.
easier. You know.
Gene, you're next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hey, Gene, how can we help you?
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey.
I went to one of your Beyond Indexing classes, and I would, just as an intro, I would commend that to everyone who's listening.
Thank you, sir.
They should go. It's great class.
That's kind of you.
And,
Appreciate it.
suffered a little suffering from my common ailment of delayed intelligence. After I got home, I got thinking about that wonderful asset allocation table circle that you shared at class.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I noticed was not in there was real estate, and I wanted to ask.
Actually,
you about that.
it is in there. It's in there.
We believe in using real estate investment trusts as part of the asset allocation. However, and here's a very fine point, only in money that is qualified where there's no taxation of that money until you take it out. You wouldn't want to own it, REITs, in a taxable environment. But REITs have, because they don't go up and down always at the same time as stocks, have added a little less bumpiness over time. Not a whole lot of additional return, but they've reduced the volatility.
And because they don't move
Okay.
exactly at the same pace, that's how they do that. They may zag when the market zigs and vice versa when the stock market zigs. So we try to build a portfolio that has all these asset classes. Some of them are there for extra return. Some of them
Yep.
are there to soften the scariness.
Did that answer your question?
And Yeah, I just didn't recall seeing it.
Yeah,
there.
REITs
Yep, it
are
is
an
there.
important part of a diversified portfolio.
Thanks
you,
for the call,
Yep.
Gene. 877-397-5666 is our phone number. Give us a call. The bribe is in effect. You get a free year of Real Investing Journal for being a part of the show. 877-397-5666.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
We hope you're enjoying one of the more unique podcasts out there, but we want to remind you that there are other tools we offer to help you get educated about what we call real investing. We publish Real Investing Journal both as a free online version and in an inexpensive printed magazine. You can check those out at realinvestingjournal.com. Then we offer classes, most of which are in the Seattle area, but now we've got a couple of the classes that we taught at Retire Meet online for free at talkingrealmoney.com under the video link. Just go to talkingrealmoney.com, click on the video link. And finally, we rarely mention it, but we also manage wealth for hundreds of folks and well over $250,000 through our fee-only 100% fiduciary investment advisory firm, Vestory. We manage money just as we talk about it. We always put our clients first. Our fees are low, and we educate you on a regular basis. Go to Vestory.com to learn more, and you can take our free no-obligation risk quiz to understand the level of investment volatility you can tolerate. That's Vestory.com, Vestory.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Because this is the information that you need to get to where you ought to be in the future, where your retirement is secure and comfortable. And we want to help you get there, and we really do. I know we sound strident, particularly me.
Whoa, you're going to take that on?
I am going to take stridency on.
We had this discussion earlier today. I had it with my brother, and he said, Don's always... I said, no, actually, lately, I've been the one kind of off my meds a little bit. So,
But I am strident about this because it bothers me so much. And one of the reasons, it's like, an ex-smoker is the biggest pain in the neck with smokers, right? Right.
Worse. Nothing
I'm
worse.
an ex-stockbroker. I was there
true.
firsthand and saw what people did to clients, including me, what I did to them in the name of making a living for myself at 27 years old.
Yeah.
All I can plead is youth and stupidity. Youth and stupidity. 877-397-5666 is our phone number. And Pam, I believe it's your turn. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hey, Pam, how can we help you?
Hey, I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When you retire, they typically tell you to be very conservative in your investments, but I'm in a situation where my house is paid for. I have about $1.5 million in investments, and so I'm trying to understand on the mix of what I should do, how I should invest, and is there any real reason I shouldn't be a little bit more aggressive?
Well, okay, so how old are you?
63.
You're young, and you are retired, you said, correct?
Thank you. You make me feel good, Tom.
About
Thanks for
ready
saying
to,
that.
in about 6 months.
6 months, okay. And of the 1.5, have you sat down and said, of the $1.5 million I have saved, which is a considerable sum, how much of that are you going to need to draw every year to pay yourself to keep the lights on and go on the trips and do all that kind of stuff? How much of that $1.5 million?
Yeah, so I've looked at that. Maybe $58,000 a year.
So $60,000 a year, which is a reasonable amount to take out.
About a 4% return.
Yeah, that's about a 4% withdrawal rate. But remember now, that $60,000 needs to grow every year because inflation is going to grow. And Social Security will give you part of the inflation gain going back to the mid-'70s. It has not kept up with inflation.
Well, now, let me just add this, though. Here's the reality. I don't believe that age is a major factor. I really don't.
I was getting to that. Well, it's a factor. If you don't retire until you're 80, then you don't need the money.
But are you going to
as
send
long.
her to the place I'm going to send her?
I would do that as number one. Yeah, we have a place where you can go take a quiz.
It's called a risk quiz.
Yeah, it's free. It helps you understand, because here what we're trying to get to is the asset allocation, as you said. How much in risky things, how much in less risky things? Should we do more to how you feel about markets and volatility and how much you know about all this? That's a bigger determinant than I've got $1.5 million and I don't know how to manage. Does that make sense? I mean, so yes, you go to it's at Vestory, correct? Don?
It's at Vestory, yeah, and it's right at the top of the page. It says Risk Quiz with
It's
a Q.
a free quiz. It helps you understand.
RISQUIZ.
But in a general sense, if you even had a portfolio that was half in stocks, half in bonds, generally, and you had relatively low costs, I would expect that with a withdrawal rate of 4%, that would survive for 25 or even 30 years, generally.
Makes sense?
Yep. So
I would
so
take the
you're-
quiz.
you're-
I would take the quiz because the quiz will help you understand if
It
being in a
helps you
portfolio.
understand you.
If you could be in a mix, it's 50% in stocks, 50% in bonds, because even that has a certain amount of volatility. If we get to 2001 again, or 2008 again, or 1987, wherever it is, or 73, 74, all these bad markets that have happened, one may start again on Monday. We don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for the call. All right, take care, Pam. 877-397-5666 is our phone number. We have a line open and a bribe in effect. Get a free year of Real Investing Journal just for being on the show. And if you don't want to be on the show, you can get Real Investing Journal for only $15 at realinvestingjournal.com. Grace, you're next. Welcome to the program.
Hi there. I have a question because I heard that other gentleman earlier asking about his whole life policy. I was called by my agent before I turned 60, saying that if I changed my term into whole life, I'd gain, a lot more or something, a longer life of the policy. And I really didn't understand that, except I felt that I think they told me my term was going to end at 75 or something.
Mm-hmm. Which is normal.
Yeah, that would be
you buy term insurance for the express
It's a
purpose
rental.
of insuring against your demise, somebody needing your income. The older you get, the less people are dependent upon you for income. Right. At 75 years old, Grace, is anyone depending on you for an income?
No, but still being self-employed and not being able to save a whole lot, it's not a huge policy, but it's enough to pay
but that's
off
not going to pay you
any debts. No.
Yeah, unless you've got some secret system we don't know about, which we'd like to hear about off
You're
air.
Right. You're so right. So I'm not understanding. So I did it, doubled my premium, of course, which isn't a whole lot either a month. But so does that mean that whole life takes me till my death?
It's a cash value policy.
Yeah, so now you're building up some cash there is what he was trying to say.
Right. As long as you keep making your premium payments, you'll have an insurance policy. But, so are they saying it doubles your premium payments? And how much in death insurance is it going to provide you?
Well, I don't know. Isn't it going to provide me the face value now or not? I don't understand, I guess.
No, there's a death benefit. You have this policy.
Which you will not be able to collect, by the way.
Right, you'll be dead. Yeah. You won't care, but someone will actually take that money. How much money will they pay that someone when you die?
Right. Okay.
How much is that amount?
What's the dollar? What's the dollar amount?
Oh, it's only 100,000. I mean, it's really small. It's only 100,000.
All right.
And what's the premium going to be for the
how much you
whole
pay
life? How much are you going to pay every month for that?
It's $80
for whole life.
Yeah.
That sounds very low.
That sounds very low. Yeah. That just sounds suspiciously low. Because how old are you?
Okay.
How old are you, Grace?
63. Same as the last lady.
That sounds suspiciously
low. I don't
low.
get that. Those numbers don't add up to me. So
they don't add up to me either.
So
because
I did this 3 years ago before I turned 60. But okay, well.
I mean, but you've already done this, is what you're saying, correct?
Yeah. I've already done this. I'm just trying to understand what I did, and I thought you guys.
I'm not understanding what you did without being able to actually see the policy and see what they did. There's so many questions that remain unanswered, but I can tell you to buy $100,000 of cash value life for $80 a month, those numbers just don't work. That insurance company's giving away money.
Talking real money.
Quick break. In addition to our Talking Real Money podcast, we have a few other tools to help you gain a better understanding of the concept of real investing. Of course, there's Real Investing Journal. That's offered in both a free online version and in an inexpensive printed magazine. Explore both those options at realinvestingjournal.com, realinvestingjournal.com. Then we teach classes. We offer most of our live classes in the Seattle area because that's where most of our offices are, but most of you live elsewhere. That's why we're now offering the same classes that Tom and I taught at Retire Meet online right now free at TalkingRealMoney.com under the video link. Just go to TalkingRealMoney.com and then click on the video link. You'll see them right there. Finally, we also manage the wealth or the budding wealth of hundreds of folks like you through our fee-only 100% fiduciary investment advisory firm, Vestory. You'll find our approach is consistent with the message we've been sharing for decades. We always put our clients' needs first. Our fees are among the lowest of any non-robo-advisor, and constant education is one of our core values. Visit Vestory.com for more information on our firm and to take our free no-obligation risk quiz to better understand the level of investment volatility you can tolerate. That's Vestory.com, Vestory.com.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestory, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information.